for questions, just as like ideas for me to remember.
Cool.
So
yeah, I'm down with whatever.
okay, I guess I'll just read them off. How has Summerfest been?
It's been cool. We've toured with pretty much all the bands that are on it at some point, so it's just like a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Pretty low key, just like the crowds have been good. Been a lot of friendship, a lot of just like hanging out.
Yeah.
Not really stressful or anything. It's it's been great.
Yeah, because you've been on tour with Real Friends so many times, and then I know you've been with the Wonder Years and the Maine.
And, we toured with Mayday Parade before. First time meeting Daisy Grenade. They're sweet though. Diva Bleach, also sweet. Hot Milk, also sweet. Like, all good people on the tour, no drama, no nothing.
Yeah.
Been super,
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, no, it's always grateful to still have the opportunity to play, so.
Yeah. And this was supposed to be like the last show of the tour, right? Before they rescheduled New Jersey?
Yeah, so this was supposed to be the last one, and then now Asbury got canceled a few days ago because of lightning. And now that's tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
You guys recently released like your cover of Stick Season, right?
Yes.
A couple weeks ago, maybe?
I think like right before this tour started, so about a month ago, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I have no idea.
Who was that song originally from again?
Noah Kahan? I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. It's like, Noah, How do you say his last name?
I knew it was Noah something. I just couldn't remember his last name.
Yeah.
And in October you released Losing What We Love. How is that?
Dope. We all love that album.
I love it.
I mean, try to love all the music you make, but obviously you have your favorites. And like Losing What We Love is awesome. We all really like it. I feel like it's kind of I mean, all the music we make is always like what we want to make in the moment. We don't like try to necessarily cater to like what's popular or like whatever. Like we just write our own music and make the music we want to make. Losing What We Love is dope. Like that one.
Yeah. You guys, for the one You and I music video, that I love that music video. How is it making that?
It was fun. That was actually kind of crazy though, because it was at a diner, which is like a business.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a movie set or anything. It was like literally a diner in Wisconsin. So we shot that music video overnight.
Oh.
I think we showed up there at like 10 p.m.
Oh wow.
And then shot till 6 in the morning, I think.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
We did the video overnight while the diner was closed, and then got out of there before they opened in the morning.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Like we were packing up all the equipment and stuff as like the employees were showing up
for the morning.
The morning to like start like firing up the grills and stuff.
That's crazy.
That was cool. Silly, just a silly video. Just
I love that
being
video.
goofy in a diner for 8 hours with your friends.
Yeah. Sounds like fun. I've heard that you've written lyrics before for the band. Have you?
I've never necessarily written full songs. Mostly Nick and Joe will write lyrics, but there'll be times where if they're stuck on something, I'll be in the room too, kind of being like, what if what if you did this, or what if instead of saying that you said the, I'll kind of, that's how we write in general. Even I'll even have opinions on guitar parts. Sometimes they'll have opinions on drum parts, being what if you did, what if the drum fill was more just something like got-to, and it's all a very collaborative process amongst all of us. I've contributed some words here or there, sentences, lines, whatever. But I've never necessarily written full songs for the band.
Sense. I was just, while I was looking for questions to ask, I was on the website with all the lyrics, and one of the abouts said that you wrote it, but I was like, you're not the main like lyricist, right?
Yeah, no, not at all. I like I said, I'll contribute. Like, you know, can't necessarily think of like any off the top of my head, but like,
Yeah.
I'll write some, you know, a line here or there, and then like, well, on the new album, we did, as far as like the music, we kind of did both Tower and Act Accordingly. We kind of wrote those in a weird way where I wrote the drums first entirely. Like I came up with the entire song on the drums first.
That's interesting.
And was like, okay, here's how the song's gonna flow rhythmically, and I have some ideas for guitar, but I don't really know how to play guitar. I can just like hear it.
Yeah,
I can like
that makes
hear what I
sense.
think the guitar should sound like. So like, you know, if it was something just like na 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 na.
Yeah.
And, you know, and we kind of built them, we like reverse engineered them that way. So, but other than that, yeah, like I said, it's generally a pretty collaborative process amongst all of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like what I do most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your copacetic anniversary show is coming up in January.
Yep.
How does that like make you feel that it's 10 years old, that it's like coming up? How is that?
It's pretty crazy that it's 10 already, that like it's a full-length album. It just kind of like, yeah, it puts the time that we've
Into
been
like
doing
perspective?
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the copacetic 10-year show, just, yeah, the fact that we've been doing, puts everything into perspective, how long we've had the opportunity to still do this. And yeah, it should be cool. The venue is like 3 times the biggest venue we've played.
I heard
Like
that.
as far as like headlining, and so like we're excited about that. It should be just crazy. We're trying to come up with like different ways to make it kind of like a special like event as opposed to just another show.
Yeah.
Like stuff, like little stuff to do around the city, like before and after the show. Like
Yeah, that makes
kind
sense.
of waiting to get this tour done. Then we're gonna dig into some ideas to like make it a special time.
Yeah. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys make it like a tour? I know I don't personally care about it being a tour, but I know a lot of people like kind of talked about it in like the comments of your stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, like, it's kind of a weird thing where, like, you know, bands do 10-year tours, but it's like, we kind of don't want to, like, we feel like, you know, we want to write a 5th album and, like, kind of keep pushing the band forward. We don't want to get too tripped up on, like, like, oh, like, you know, because, like, just kind of, like, in our opinion, that, like, once you kind of go and do, like, a 10-year anniversary tour, that kind of, like, frames you as, like, an old band.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And it kind of, like, you know, so it's like we personally don't want to necessarily, like, lean into our old stuff. We kind of want to keep on trying to be like, no, like,
you're still here, you're still making things.
This is the music we're making now.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, Copacetic, we love that album. We love all of our albums. And, you know, still want to try to give, you know, give something. Give something, but, and yeah, like, with how the Chicago show has been selling better than all of us, better than our manager, booking agent, like, it's been selling really well. So we might try to figure out doing more, like, you know, but we're not doing a whole tour.
Yeah.
We might try to figure out how to, like, do a few more shows.
Yeah.
But again, we gotta get this tour out of the way. Figure out like if we're touring next spring.
Yeah. If
we're touring next summer, and like if and how we can fit some other shows in, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta. It's just like an idea that's out there at the moment. Don't have anything like solidified. But for now, we just kind of want to do a big show in our home city to kind of commemorate 10 years of that album, and then just kind of be done with it and like be like, all right,
new music, new stuff.
Now we're making more new music.
Yeah.
Like this is the music we're making in the year 20. That was the music we made in 2015. This is the music we're making in 2025. You know, like, and kind of focus more on the present as opposed to
past.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I really want to go to that show. That show sounds so like amazing. It sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, it should be pretty dope, I think.
Yeah, it surely should be. There's gonna be so many people there.
I hope so.
Like, I've seen things on, like, Twitter about people, like, flying hours and hours to Chicago to be able to see the show. So it's gonna be amazing.
That's another thing, too. Like, we all love Chicago. We love where we're from. So it's, like, kind of like...
Celebrating
it's
where you're from.
Yeah, and it's like, I guess it's, like, a little unfair to people who aren't from there. Because it's, like, you know, like, the cost of traveling and everything.
Yeah.
But just kind of, like... and like want people to come experience the city that we love.
Yeah.
Like
it's your
best city on earth. Like
yeah.
So it's like come see what it's about. Maybe it's gonna be a little chilly in January, but
yeah.
Bundle up. Chicago has a lot to offer. A lot of great food places, coffee places, clothing places.
Deep dish pizza.
Deep dish pizza, tavern style thin crust pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago-style hot dogs, Italian beef sandwiches. If you're vegan, there's a ton of vegan restaurants. It's got everything you could ever want. So come see what it's about.
Yeah. You post like a lot of like your food stuff on like your Instagram story, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know I asked you about one of them. It was like, I looked at the picture and I was like, that looks good, but what in the world is that? And it was really funny.
Yeah, I've eaten all kinds of different stuff. I've recently been to like Ethiopian food, where it's just like,
I love Ethiopian food.
just like almost like a pancake type thing.
Yeah.
With like different types of like lentils on it. Just like, yeah, it's good stuff.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Good stuff for sure.
Yeah. The weight that you buried is about to turn 11 years old, which is crazy.
That's also crazy.
Yeah. How does that make you feel? 11 years old.
Old. But like grateful that we put that out 11 years ago and still have the opportunity to like when we put that out 11 years ago, we were just like hanging out, having fun, playing shows at like bowling alleys, like just whatever. And then now
you're at like a full music festival, like super kind of far away from like your hometown.
Yeah, and like that EP kind of helped really put us on the map. Like that, like when we put out Your Back Porch, that's how we got hooked up with our manager. Like he heard it and was like, oh, like I want to manage you guys, and through that we got a booking agent. So like that album kind of opened a lot of doors for us, and then have proceeded to see the world a few times over the years. So it's just kind of crazy. Yeah,
about seeing the world. I remember I was watching a video about like a different interview with you guys from maybe like 10, 11 years ago, and you said you wanted to go to Japan. You and Joe said you wanted to go to Japan. How was Japan?
It's the best place on earth. I would move there if I had the means to. Because everything about it, I could probably talk about it for like hours. Just like they have it. It's like it's right there.
Yeah.
Just the culture and
the food.
just the food, or just like how like kind people are there and considerate, and just like everyone there does what they do with so much like passion and honor. Where it's like no one like the like rolling your eyes like, oh, like I don't get paid enough to do this. Yeah. Like that attitude like doesn't exist there as far as I'm concerned. Like everyone like does what they do
with like a purpose behind it.
Yeah, and it's just like I feel like and again I'm grateful to have gotten the opportunity to go there, but I feel like it's something that like with having that what's the word? Having been able to go over there, I find it important to kind of like learn from that culture and try to bring that back to America, because I feel like America is in need of that kind of mentality.
For sure.
they're basically Japan. There's a lot to learn from the way of life there. That I feel like if more people adopted that outside of Japan, the world would literally be a better place.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
I got 2 more questions for you, and then I'm done.
Cool.
On the Knuckle Puck Instagram account, you posted this picture.
Yeah.
Does this have to do with a different band?
Not yes and no. That was just kind of like a joke, but then it's also I wasn't an original member, but I played in this band William Bonney for a little bit.
I knew you weren't an original member, but I knew you were definitely there for a good time.
They were like a Tumblr screamo band. Yeah, I was in the band for like the last 6 months. They were a band. It was my old band called Droughts.
They did a
we did a split with William Bonney and had like played shows with them. And then they needed a new drummer, and they were just like, "Hey, do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah." Wrote some new songs with them that never like saw the light of day. And then we just decided we already had a summer tour booked. Because we were doing the new songs, decided not to do the new songs, but did decide to do the last chorus to kind of do it for fun. And then and the William Bonney artwork is someone with a paper bag over their head.
Yeah.
So
I saw it and I was like, that's like somewhere, right?
Yep.
Okay. You can play with like a local band in Chicago, right? I remember seeing on your story like the different like things for it.
Yeah.
I just don't remember which band.
It's called Matter of Fact.
That's what I thought.
We're
but
just
I wasn't sure.
it's just like a pretty straight down the middle, like hardcore punk band. It's cool. I had a lot of fun playing. It's nice. I've always been involved in the Chicago hardcore scene for like many years now. Just have never really played in a band, so it's cool being able to play in a band and kind of contribute to the scene in that way. And it's also nice. Like playing shows like this is great. I enjoy playing shows like this and like venues and stuff, but like nothing's better than just like playing in like a random garage somewhere.
Yeah.
And like just having to be very like low, like shows like this, like loaded is at 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
Whereas with like Matter of Fact, we'll play a show and it'll be like, okay, well like doors are at 6, so let's show up at 5:30.
Yeah.
So it's like nice kind of getting back to like that more kind of like lax, laid back, just kind of go, like it's been having that in contrast to how KP works. It's been like very refreshing, and then even like then having that makes like coming to KP stuff fun because it's like
it's so different.
Yeah, getting to have the two differences at the same time has been like actually really awesome.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love punk shows too. Just haven't gone to nearly as many as like actual concerts.
Yeah.
But they're amazing.
Yeah, it's just like a different energy.
A lot of different energy. I get that. But that was all I had like prepared. And
that's great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I figured I'd ask like some questions that not a lot of people ask.
Yeah.
Just to like make it not so boring.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. All right. Is this like something you're trying to get into more, like interviewing and stuff?
I don't have anything like else really going on except for like maybe bars and music. So I figured if I'm going to music places anyways, I might as well learn.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's I always tell people that like if you want to be involved in music and art and stuff like that, the best way to do it is to just be involved.
Yeah.
Like I played my first show when I was 12.
Wow.
And like through that, like just like being involved in the local music scene and like meeting people took me from like the first band I was in to like the first band I was in was like with I have an older brother who's like a year and a half older than me. It was with some of his friends. It was my first band. And through shows we played, I met some other kids. So when that band was done, I started another band. And through that band, I met other people and started that band. And like the best way to be a part of it and like is to just be a part of it. And like not saying like don't go to school or anything, but like like a lot of people be like, oh, I'm going to college for like music business. And I'm not saying don't go to college, but like
being there in person is also
it's like maybe go to college to learn about it, but like you you also have to be active in the music scene and meet people and like, because like I can speak from experience being in a band. We'll hire like a homie with like real life experience over someone who's got like a diploma and a resume.
Yeah, that makes
like
sense.
a lot of how the music works is just kind of like knowing people and like knowing just like how it all works, and the only way to really know that is to like get involved and stay involved and keep an open mind and like keep a positive attitude and like because yeah, like people will like if you're like a good hang and like easy to be around and like, you know, people can tell you're like determined and have like a drive and purpose, they'll like hire you on for stuff even if maybe you're not the most qualified. You know, it's just like, oh well, like everyone's got to start somewhere, they'll learn. So I mean, I found that like because I'll work merch and stuff when I'm home and like my first tour I actually ever did was I sold merch for the band Such Gold on a Canadian tour in 2012. And I met Such Gold through KP being like a local opener for them at a show, and just kind of got along with them at the show. Followed a few of them on like Twitter or something, and then they just hit me up and were like, hey, like, don't know what you got going on, but like we don't have a merch person if you want to like come with. And I'm like, I've never toured and I've never sold merch. But like because we had gotten along, they were like, yeah, like we don't care, like
Just come with.
we'll kind of like show you the ropes on it. So like that was my first tour, was just, you know, selling merch, and like I had no experience doing it. It just like because we had gotten along, they brought me on instead of like hiring someone that was like qualified. So that's my best advice for like anyone trying to get into it. It's just like keep a positive attitude, be kind, keep an open mind, be involved, go to shows, learn how to book shows. If you got a camera, take pictures at shows. If you're gifted, can you know, draw, make flyers for shows, hand them out to people. Just like be involved in the way you can.